Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Timoncello and today I'll be making two different cocktails, both created by me. And they're also admissions to cocktail competitions that I found online. The first one being from 42Below, and I could go all out with my creativity in this competition because there were very limited rules. Only one really being that you had to use their vodka as the main spirit and you couldn't impart any infusions or stuff like that. The other one is a cooperation between Passoã and Difford, and in their competition you have to come up with a riff of a Blondie Martini, and you have to use at least 15 ml or half an ounce of this exact Passionfruit Purée. So yeah, at the time of this recording, unfortunately the deadlines have already been met, but the winner hasn't been announced yet, so there's still hope for me. Without further ado, let's get to the first one, the cocktail with 42Below. So the first cocktail I'm making is called the Blondie Martini, and well, why Blondie? I was at work serving coffee, and that's where I was getting my inspiration from. Not from the coffee, but from the little piece of blondie cake that was served next to the coffee. And made me think, I'm blonde. People always refer to me as a blondie, the blondie behind the bar, and made me think, can I recreate a cocktail that should taste like a blondie? Well, that's where I got my inspiration from. I tested out a little bit, adjusted, and eventually came down to this recipe. And that's what I also admitted to the competition. So, start off in our small shaker tip. And right here I've got a homemade Orgeat. It's not that hard to make. You just use one part of almond milk, or you can make yourself, then it's a little bit harder. I just bought unsweetened almond milk from the store, one part of that, 2 parts of white sugar, and I also added a little bit of orange blossom water, but that's optional. Of this I am adding 50 ml, so half an ounce. And I got my white chocolate liqueur. This one is from Fior, the Latte. And of this, I'm adding a full ounce, so 30 ml. And then just regular milk, semi-skimmed milk. Of this I'm adding an ounce and a half, 45. And then star of the show, of course, 42Below vodka. I'm adding 2 ounces, 60 ml. And got a big shaker, and always if you use an egg or an egg white or an egg yolk and you need to separate something, or you don't want your shells to get in, crack it in the other tin, so if you mess up, you don't mess up your whole drink. For this one I'm adding a full egg, so including the yolk. So this addition will bring this cocktail into the flip category. Adding some ice, of course. I always prefer to first do my wet shake, but it's always up to you. You can also dry shake first. Alright. I'll always shake for roughly 10 seconds. And again 10 seconds. Approximately. So that should give a nice foam layer. And I'm getting my glass. Nice and chill. Set away. Alright. Then for our garnish, we have two components. First off is a little nutmeg, officially not in a blondie of course, but it does make it a little more leveled and I just like it that way. And then for our second thing, obviously a little piece of blondie cake. I'm going to put it on the stem, and to make it sit, you have to use something that is a little bit sticky. You can use honey or any type of syrup, but since we're using Orgeat, of course, why not just use that? So a little bit, then put it in just to get it a little bit on the bottom. That should do it. Put it on there, just hold it a few seconds. And there you have it, the Blondie Martini. Cheers. Now for the second drink, like I said, I had to come up with a riff of a porn star martini, and since we're reaching the colder seasons, I found something that I liked and I called it the Winter Passion Martini. So starting off with our small shaker tin. This time I'm starting with the egg because we only need the egg white, not the yolk. So, one full egg white. And then we start off with, well, let's just start off with the soda. I had to use at least 50 mils. I decided to go with 20, so 2/3 of an ounce. And I decided to go also with something that, with a spirit that more reminds me of winter instead of vodka that's normally used, or vanilla vodka. I went with a Cognac, and for this one I'm using Pierre Ferrand, and I'm adding a full ounce, so 30 mils of Cognac. Then to counter some of the sweetness in the liqueur, I wanted to add just a little bit of Campari to make it more bitter, and I'm adding 1/3 of an ounce, so 10 mils. Alright. Of course you can have a porn star or a porn star riff without Passionfruit. So I got my Passionfruit Purée. I'm also adding 1 ounce of that. So 30 mils. And this one is a sweetened Passionfruit Puree, but feel free to just add regular if you like to start. Alright. And then finishing off with this homemade tincture. It's called Dawn's Mix. If you don't know what it is, Dawn the Beachcomber was a very famous tiki bartender, and he came up with all these mixes because he didn't want other bartenders looking what he put into his cocktails. So this is a pre-mix of grapefruit juice and cinnamon syrup. He would have gone for white grapefruit juice, but I only could find ruby red in the store, and also I prefer that because it's a little sweeter, still pretty bitter. And I'm adding 30 mils, 1 ounce. And this is a ratio of 2 parts grapefruit, 1 part cinnamon syrup. So if you don't bother to make a Dawn's mix, just add 20 mils, 2/3 of an ounce of grapefruit juice, and 1/3 of an ounce, 10 mils of cinnamon syrup. Cinnamon syrup, not hard to make, just regular simple syrup, and put a few cinnamon sticks in, break them up to expose better, and then let it sit for at least 24 hours, and then strain it out. Then adding the ice to our tin. And then let's shake again. Eggwhite, so of course we have to dry shake. Alright. As you all know, porn star martinis are served up, so I'm getting my glass out of the freezer. There I have it, nice and cold again. And of course we are going to double strain this. Right. And then there's only one garnish possible, of course. I have passion fruit. And of course, normally you would serve a shot of champagne on the side, but since I didn't find that wintry enough, I decided to go for a port, Tawny to be precise. And this is from the brand of Noval. Then you have your nice syrupy port on the side, as you're enjoying this one. The Winter Passion Martini. Cheers! And there they are, 2 competition cocktails created by me. Let's start off with tasting the first one, the Blondie Martini. Very nice. You got that sweetness. It's solely liqueurs and syrups, and when I first tried it out, it was way too sweet, and I was like, should I add like more bitter notes or more sour notes to balance that out? But then it wouldn't taste like a blondie anymore. So what did I do? I started off by trying white chocolate syrup, but it was still too sweet, so I went to Liqueur and I raised the amount of vodka so it doesn't cancel out the syrup that is in there, the sweetness, but it does lengthen it so that it isn't like this ginormous sugar bomb in your mouth. So it's still a very sweet drink, but this is just the right amount of sweetness. So try it for yourself if you want to try it, but I think this is a blondie well done. It should taste like a blondie. Then next up, the Passion Winter Martini. Hey, the Winter Passion Martini actually. Should get my own cocktail names right. Let's see. Yeah, I really like this. I can appreciate the regular Porter Martini, but I think that the original one is just a little bit flat. Just tastes too much like a regular tropical punch with alcohol added, or like this multivitamin juice. And there's more depth of flavor in here, I think. Not saying anything wrong about the regular porn store, but if you'd like more complexity, I think this is more to your liking. And of course I want this on the side. Perfectly fitting, warm flavors. You got the cinnamon, you got the Campari. It holds perfect to the Tawny port. So make both these drinks. Let me know if you like them when you made them, and please leave a like. Subscribe if you're new, of course, and well, all the other stuff and gadgets like press the bell icon, of course. And then I see you next week. So yeah, cheers.